What's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome to another episode of the Simple Ball Dropping Podcast, coming to you via the YouTube airways. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K Sap. Today, man, we got a great show lined up for you guys. But when you come across the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you got your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. If this is your first time coming across the channel and discovering the platform, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, post a comment, share the video out, and give the video a thumbs up. I see everybody in the comment section, hashtag salute. And you know what my mantra is. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. For today's show, man, I'm going to have to give a shout out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, and Self-Talk. They did a video, exposing Stephen A. Smith slides in his hypocrisy on the way he covers certain, athletes, the black men, and then versus covering a white man. There was a situation that happened months back with Dana White. Dana White was caught on video slapping his wife. And when ESPN First Take talked about it, basically Stephen A. Smith in the panel gave Dana White a pass. They handled the situation with care. Now, recent days, there was an incident involving Von Miller, and they went to extreme measures to cover that in a different way. They almost wanted to castrate Von Miller for the situation on alleged reports. Even though he had an arrest warrant issued for his arrest, they was allegations. There was no clear video evidence of what Von Miller actually did. They was just assuming what was on the police report. That's what his charges was. But Dana White was caught on video. The video surfaced on social media of him smacking his wife. And when First Take got a hold of it and handled the situation and talked about it, they handled this with care. So I want y'all to take a listen to how Stephen A. Smith approached this situation regarding Dana White, gave him particularly a pass. And Kwame Brown and Self-Talk has exposed that. And for some reason, like they stated, YouTube won't get that video out there. So guys, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up so we can get in the algorithm so we can get this video out there. But take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith said when they was talking about the Dana White situation. Take a listen.
Dana White is not just somebody that's connected in the world of sports. He's a friend. I love the guy personally. So this is a very hard subject for me. We talk all the time. We certainly connected briefly since this happened. Mm-hmm. He knew there's no way on earth that I wasn't going to talk about it. My heart goes out to his family because this is a very, very embarrassing situation. He says it has never, ever happened before. He's completely ashamed and utterly disgusted with himself that he finds himself in this situation, that he would ever have done such a thing to a woman he's been married to for 30 years, who's the mother of his 3 children. And he makes no excuses for it. And I think it's important to point that out. I also think it's important to point out that she validates what he asserts, that it's never happened before, that it was completely out of character. And she even pointed to the fact that they were out and they were drinking and all of that other stuff as well. In the end, he's not making any excuses. It's certainly not for me nor anybody out there to make an excuse, because particularly within the times that we're living in and with all the things that we've learned and the inordinate amount of times we've had to address subjects like this, we have to maintain consistency in pointing out, you do not put your hands on a woman if you are a man. You do not do it. Dana White knows that. And, all I can say is that, again, He has spoken out against men who put their hands on women before, and whatever punishment you would exact under these circumstances to somebody else is what he should apply to.
Now, you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say. So basically, he alleviated to they was out drinking. So he used that as an excuse, but that's the reason why it happened, because they both was out drinking. But the video evidence shown that he smacked her, and the way Stephen A. Smith handled this with care and basically was sending prayers out to the families. He said he loves Dana White. He talked to him after the incident happened, and he's wishing the family nothing but the best. But when it came out, when Vaughn Miller was accused, and these allegations are out there on the police report, but no video evidence on what Vaughn Miller actually did, they handled the situation different. Now, see, this is what Kwame Brown has always been saying about Stephen A. Smith. Man, he'll break a black person down, the athlete down, talk bad about him on national television, but big up the other races. I'm not trying to make this a black and white video, but I'm just exposing the fact of what Kwame Brown has always said about Stephen A. Smith. Whatever Stephen A. Smith is doing, he's very successful at what he's doing. He has a tremendous platform on his podcast that is off and running and is ranked up there in the YouTube community. But the way they cover black athletes versus the white athlete and white people in general is totally different. They handled this situation with care, and Kwame Brown has always said that Stephen A. Smith is a puppet for the ESPN network. And it's obvious on what he stated with the situation with Dana White versus to how he handled the situation with Vaughn Miller. Even will go as far as the situation with Josh Giddey. They didn't want to get into that situation because the NBA was investigating that. The police authorities was investigating that. The parties involved, the young lady, the underage minor, her family wasn't cooperating, so they didn't want to touch on it. The Kevin Porter situation came up. Stephen A. Smith, first thing he said is he needs to be in jail. It's not just Malika Andrews, it's Stephen A. Smith too. And Kwame Brown has called that out. So when the Vaughn Miller situation broke, it broke on First Take, and they stopped their whole segment to do an hour segment on Vaughn Miller. I want y'all to take a listen on how Stephen A. Smith handled this situation and listen to his voice in this one versus the voice that he displayed in the Dana White situation, where he was passionate for Dana White. He was siding with Dana White. But listen how he talks about Vaughn Miller.
We don't know all the facts. We heard this report. Obviously, an arrest warrant being issued is a very, very serious matter. Without knowing anything, let's just make sure we make this general statement that everybody at this table will agree with. Keep your hands off women. Do not put your hands on women if you are a man, period. Let's get that out the way. Having said all of that, on a separate issue, there's something going on in the NBA with Josh Giddey. And what I've said and what numerous others have said is we don't know all the facts. So if we have to take that position with him, with allegations of dealing with a minor, and we want to sit up there and say, wait until we have all the facts, same thing to Vaughn Miller. But it does not look good for him to be in this situation. There is nothing good about this for him, nor the Bills, nor society as a whole, with all the nonsense that we're having to deal with in this day and age. Do not put your hands on a woman.
Nor
That's all I
the
have to say.
pregnant girlfriend.
Now, you heard how Stephen A. Smith addressed that situation. No prayers out to the family. Basically, he just castrated Von Miller. He said it don't look good. It's a bad situation for him. It's a bad situation for society in whole. And it's a bad situation for the Buffalo Bills organization. And there's nothing good that's going to come out of this situation. And see, in this situation, you don't have video evidence. You don't have video evidence that he did put his hands on his baby's mother. But in the Dana White situation, there's clear video evidence on Dana White smacking his wife. And Stephen A. Smith gave Dana White a pass. And you saw no video evidence of what Von Miller did. And this is how you acted when you covered that. The way you displayed your voice and displeasure for what Von Miller situation is versus the way your passionate voice was for Dana White, that's the lies and hypocrisy that Kwame Brown has always said about you. He's always said, this is what you do. You come on national television and you downgrade. You downgrade us. You downgrade the black men. You downgrade them. In one sentence, you'll downgrade them and then you'll big them back up. Kwame Brown has always been saying that. But you wanted to get on Kwame Brown about being the #1 draft pick and not, potentially working out the way it should have been and calling him a bust. And then when he started going back at you, you had a problem with that. But Kwame Brown has been saying this for the longest about Stephen A. Smith. Guys, we got to keep our eye on Stephen A. Smith, man, because he's not covering the media the way he should cover it on the same level on all playing fields, man. So you guys let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, share it out, post your comment. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
Another one.